Great chance here! That does it! Steve McGavin! And for the first time, Colchester United have won a major final.
Still Garcia, finally the company arrives and it's in! It's a freak out goal from Ricardo Carvalho. Richard Garcia wants the credit and the shock is on at the bridge.
And it's promotion for Colchester United. They've made it into the Championship for the first time in 69 years.
Porter, being held, there is Porter, and it's Maka!
Hello and welcome to Beyond the Barside, the podcast that covers everything Colchester United. I am Aaron J. A big thank you to those who are tuning in on Apple, Spotify and YouTube. You're doing us a big favour there, but no bigger favour than those sharing the podcast on social media, on X, Instagram and Facebook. And it has been another brilliant week for Colchester United as we beat Grimsby 2-1, and over on the women's side we won 7-1 at home to Toby. And that Grimsby performance really was something to behold. Colchester seemed to really be turning a corner, and I spoke to Si, Dave and Jamie Newstead to get the lowdown on what they thought about the performance. Welcome back to Beyond the Barside. I'm joined by Si, Dave and Jamie Newstead. How are we doing, guys?
Very well.
Thank you.
Lovely stuff. So the U's are fresh off of another win, which is, I didn't think we'd be talking about 3 wins on the bounce, albeit one of them being the Virtue Trophy, but the U's had a very hard-battled, hard-fought 2-1 win against a high-flying Grimsby side, a David Artell side, obviously someone who Colchester United fans were looking at as being the potential manager of the club a couple of times. So it was a really good performance. Didn't go all our way like the Chesterfield game. We weren't on top for sort of the whole game. Our backs were against the wall for certain periods of the game, but we were resilient. We were a lot more dogged and we came away with the victory. Dave, do you want to get us started on that performance?
Yeah, it was everything we wanted it to be, and I think I might still be quite euphoric from it, and maybe a bit of recency bias, maybe some hyperbole, but just taking everything into account with regards to the opposition, the questions that have been asked of the players who've had 2 great performances at home, but when things went our way, and having a couple of away performances where things went against us and they didn't stand up. You put all that together and how they came out there, I feel like that's one of the all-time away days for me. Mm-hmm. Between all of us, we must have been thousands of away days. That one straight away goes right up there. And it was just, like I said, it was everything you want from that sort of game. It was physical. I thought Grimsby was the most physical team we played. Every time a player, first thing, had a hand on his neck, pushing him. There was some rugby tackles going on. It was quite fun to watch, to be honest. But whereas 4 or 5 weeks ago, the outcome may have been very different. But I thought, just really, really impressive how they all stood up. I thought Tucker at the back was absolutely rock solid. And obviously, all we need to do was play Ellis. Mm-hmm. And we've turned into the greatest team in the world in the week that Ellis has been back. And I actually thought we've been a little bit critical, but I thought the second half, especially, Kane Vincent-Young, a really experienced, really clever performance against a tricky opposition. He did really well. And you see him change his shorts at half time on the telly. Obviously, you guys were there, but I don't know whether you watched it back. Did you see that? No.
The Sky cameras just filmed Kane Vincent-Young changing it just in his pants.
That seems like set the remote or something at half time and changed the channel.
Did you fall asleep?
No. Genuinely, it wasn't. It wasn't a dream or anything like that. It was real. Has, when it has like that red screen on the EFL games.
Yeah, when there's nothing to.
it came out early, and Kane Vincent-Young was just in the dugout changing his shorts.
Maybe he knew.
But yeah, it was a really good performance. Yeah, gee, it was. Yeah, I don't know whether they had to put an apology up. I don't know, but whether Kane's got an issue with that. But yeah, it was a really good performance from Kane Vincent-Young, and we have been a little bit sceptical of. We've often said that there's always been a little bit of a mistake in him in some of the performances we've seen, but it was particularly that second half with the one-on-ones. He was really good at stopping the wingers get down that side, which was really impressive. Jamie, obviously you're joining us on the panel this week, and many U's fans will know you as being the goalkeeper for the women's side. They may not know that you are, you watch Colchester United. You've been a fan of Colchester United for some time. Yeah. How have you found the start of the season so far?
For the men, mixed, slow. But I think now, it's starting to click, which is nice. Obviously, I do I've got a season ticket. I go to all the home games. I might have a slightly restricted view, as some of you might know. But I sort of have a slight clue what's going on. And yeah, like I say, I've watched the away games. I don't go anymore. I used to, but I've watched most of the away games on telly. And I think, I mean, you can't grumble. Grimsby was brilliant. And Chesterfield at home, right? You again, like scoring 6 goals, like Lisby. If we can keep hold of him, well, I hope we do. But yeah, come January, if he carries on playing like he's playing. Unfortunately, but that's what we used to. We're Col U fans, isn't it? That's what we do. We sign youngsters and we sell them on, unfortunately. But yeah, I think the guys, they're at the moment, hopefully confidence is growing. It should do, because we look good. Mm-hmm. Like Saturday, I don't think anyone could have asked for any more, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Going away to Grimsby, who are proper up there, started really well, getting 3 points. I'd have taken a draw, but 3 points, 100%. And we can only build on that. That's, it's brilliant. It's absolutely great.
Yeah, absolutely. And when we spoke to Neve a few weeks ago on the podcast, I'd asked her to sort of, what would you do to sell the women's games to potential people that want to come and watch? And her answer was, well, you get goals at the women's games, and you weren't getting the goals with the men's side. We were really struggling to put the ball in the back of the net. Obviously, a big victory for the women's side this morning, and we record on Sundays, a 7-1 win. The goals seem to be in full flow at the moment. How's the season going so far on the women's side?
Yeah, actually quite similar to the men's, mixed. We've started off, I'd say, quite slowly. But at the end of the day, big step up. With team-wise, blimey, I'd say 80% of the team, the new signings. So again, got a gel, which we're starting to do. I think we've hit like that final puzzle piece. We've signed a top quality striker. I don't want to make her head too big, but Daisy, she will score goals. And I think that, taking our chances is a massive, massive thing at this level now. And to be honest, I can only see us, again, climbing the table. I think we've really settled down. We're starting to gel as a team. It's positive. Today, League Cup, the way the women's game seems to work is you almost have a little bit of a break in the league football, and then you play all your cup games. So we've had, obviously, FA Cup. We've had League Cup today. We've got County Cup next week. In fact, we're playing Toby again at home, so exactly the same team as today next week, but in the County Cup.
They'll be thrilled.
Oh yeah, they will be thrilled, absolutely thrilled. However, they beat us 3-4 weeks ago in the league 2-1, which probably wasn't one of our best performances. However, they definitely can be competitive with us. So I'm not sure what the team was like today. Like, if comparison to the league team that we played a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, same team next week. Hopefully, next round of the County Cup as well. League Cup, I think, is something that we've definitely got to aim to be winning, because I think we're capable. Especially like with Daisy, we're signing youngsters. Got a new goalkeeper now from Ipswich. letting people like me have a little break on a Sunday, feet up, because I'm getting old now, 40 next year. So I play vets football soon. But
legends football.
100% legends. Yeah. It's again, like, hopefully, I mean, I'm sure National League is the aim for like everybody in the women's team. I know obviously as a Col U supporter and someone who plays for the women's team, that is the obvious, you want to aim as high as you possibly can go. But yeah, it's positive. I think we've brought in just under £6,000, I think it was, for the FA Cup run that we've had. And although we got absolutely tonked last week, at the end of the day, they're a semi-professional football team, London Bees. We've gone to their place. We've had to play a group of girls that have played together for a long time. They train 3 times a week, I think it is. You can't compete. But that's where hopefully we will be one day. And I think that will be pretty soon, like, next 5 years maybe. That's what we need to be aiming for. It's only positive. So yeah, it's a good place to be.
Definitely, and it's great that everyone I sort of speak to that's associated with the club from either like a playing perspective, more of an admin role, or even just going to watch as a fan, they're really positive and they have those aspirations for the club to go higher and higher and higher, which is brilliant. And you mentioned Daisy coming in as a striker and sort of almost changing the fortunes a little bit for the team on the pitch. Si, for the men's side, Micah Embick is sort of doing the same thing. I mean, it was a heck of a performance yesterday, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, he's been outstanding, and it's not. Obviously, yesterday he took all the plaudits for his goals, but then if you look back at the other games, Chesterfield, he's very influential throughout the whole game, even though he wasn't on the score sheet. And then the same in the EFL Trophy. When he came on, he made such a difference. You can see the player he is. Obviously, being young, he's only going to get better, but he's already got the pace, the strength, and also the intelligence. Like his second goal yesterday, to have the kind of intelligence to bring the ball down like he did, but then slow down to let Chris Pym make the move to come out. So wait till he wrong foots the goalkeeper to then be able to then lob it over him rather than rushing. I think if he'd hit that first time or at pace, Pym would have actually probably had more chance of saving it. But by making it slower, he made it harder. It's just the intelligence he's got like that.
He had that battle with Pym earlier on in the game, didn't he? When he really closed him down as he brought the ball had been knocked back to him on the wrong foot. He had to change feet, and Embick really sort of closed it and nearly sort of got that deflection to put it into the box. I was speaking to Charlton fan, comedian Tom Toll, and he was really surprised actually that Embick is with us for the season. He felt that there was a place for him within sort of the general squad at Charlton. So I think we're really lucky to have someone with that pedigree within the side. But obviously there was an interesting event on the bench. Si, I'll let you talk us through it, given your affinity to this young man. So do you want to talk me through the booking?
Bless his little console. I think it just
he didn't
shows
do it. It weren't him.
It just shows how good the player is, doesn't it? He's not even in the squad, but yeah, he's still showing his passion, getting stuck in, taking him on for the team by hiding the ball.
I love that. That is, you're right, Si. That is elite man. He's a mentality monster.
Yeah, and that's what
already
it comes down to. Even though he won't go down as his card due to a technicality that I don't want to really go into sort of too much details. But
JK pulled his shirt, so JK got the booking. That's what happened.
I was very disappointed. I honestly did think Dino had been booked. And to be fair, if Dino had been booked, that'd have made my season. He sits there all trying to be all like straight-laced, all goody-goody. I was like, yeah, please be you. But no, it wasn't. So, but, I spoke to Ronnie Harvey after the game as well. Yep, I was allowed near him before he says anything.
It's the only reason he was on the bench is he wasn't allowed in the away end.
Yeah, it's because he's got like this 10-metre rule, isn't it? I did find it a bit weird that I had to sort of shout across the road to him after the game. Maybe
behind the cordon.
Yeah, and he does look a bit weird. When I was up a tree behind a bush. But anyway, that's the story, isn't it?
All right, just carry on.
Yeah, no, it's like this like writes itself, doesn't it? But no, and he was just saying how glad he is to be in around the first team. He was upset he wasn't obviously in the squad, but he's enjoying what he's doing. He's pushing hard and training, hoping to But obviously, Danny loves him. I spoke to Danny as well. He's like really, he's going to be a top player. He's got everything he needs. So yeah, obviously managing to get involved in the game without actually being in the squad. Everyone loves to play like that, don't they? But going back to Mbic, before I dig any more holes for myself, there's a number of Charlton fans though that disagree and said he wasn't ready for men's football.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think luckily with that Nathan Jones relationship with Danny, we've managed to get hold of him. I do think they'll look to keep him for the season because he's a good player and a good team with a good manager. Unlike recent loan signings that have been taken out in January, the clubs have probably looked at them and think, you know what, they're getting nothing at Colchester. The setup's not great. The atmosphere is bad. Hostility towards the manager is not great. We'll take our young player out because he's not learning anything. Whereas Mbic has got the opposite setup. He's loved by the fans. He's got a brilliant coach and he's getting goals. So why take him out for a League One team to sit on the bench when he could stay with hopefully a top half League Two team, get regular game time with regular goals?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I completely agree. It's very different to the Joe Taylor scenario that we experienced a few years ago, but it does almost, the way you've sort of spoken about Colchester United there, the run of games, albeit 2 wins, really has changed our position within the league, and it sort of changes the landscape a little bit that we're looking out on. Dave, it's all a bit more positive now, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. And just, it's the character yesterday. So, when we beat Chesterfield, we know with Lisby, Teddy Bishop, Arthur Reed, Jack Payne, we know we can score goals. We know on our day we can beat teams. But like I said earlier on, the question was, can we stand up in those sort of games? And we absolutely did. And everyone, there was, my if I have a catchphrase, do your job on the pot. Every single player did their job. And again, Harry Anderson, what a shift. What a shift. And there was one bit, I think, in about 85 minutes where he turned into prime Messi and just would not let 4 of them get the ball off him. And they got more and more frustrated. And then at the end, you could just tell he was absolutely knackered. But he was great again. And like I mentioned, Jack Tucker earlier, I'd actually say a real captain's performance. First half especially, we were under the pump a little bit, and there was some good football played. And David Artell mentioned after the game how well we kept the ball in the second half, and I fully agree with that. A couple, 2 or 3 times Teddy Bishop got literally rugby tackled to the ground, and stood up, carried on playing. The one worry that we may have from that, and you mentioned like Ronnie Harvey wasn't in the squad. If Bishop or Reed had got a knock or had to come off, who would have gone out? I guess Jack Payne would have dropped deep and maybe Jaden Winnington. But in a game like that, is having Jack Payne a bit deeper
it'd be
really
easy,
the best thing.
Put Caulfield Jr. on and put Tucker in midfield.
There we go. Ding, 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 ding.
Why did I?
That's the one.
Hey, you set that one up for us.
That is my fault. That is my fault. I take full responsibility for that. But no, it was one of the reasons it's so positive. And I genuinely think that is one of the my all-time favourite away days. Is it answered the questions that we still had about the team so fundamentally and so well. And just we can certainly look forward now. We've got the core of that team back. We've got Ellis back. We've got we were saying with certainty, and this isn't a bad thing, we were saying with certainty last week when Flanagan's fit, he starts. Maybe not. If Araujo and Tucker can stand up to a team like that.
Yeah. I thought Araujo had a really good game.
And I
love his distribution.
He got the assist for the second goal, didn't
he? Yeah, and in the first half where he got the ball and just went forward, ended up getting to the edge of the box having a shot. Love that. Absolutely love it. So, there's nothing. It's actually a game where, you can say about the goal we conceded and the marking, but that actually makes it a little bit better because it was a bad goal and we turned it around and we stuck to our principles, didn't shirk the physical challenge. There's nothing, I don't really have anything bad to say about it.
No, not at all. And you talk about, when things aren't going our way, we tended to go into ourselves, panic a little bit, and not stick to those principles that Danny wants us to have. And we did the exact opposite. We maintained those principles throughout the 90 minutes. Obviously, Si and Dave, you were at the game. You may have missed this, or you may have missed this in detail. But Jamie, you may have seen this in a bit more detail watching on the telly. Jack Payne was booked for simulation. It was a heck of a dive, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
That means yes.
There was no contact whatsoever. He
No contact, no.
threw himself to the floor.
We couldn't quite see it. I mean, it was at our end, but we couldn't see what happened. But the fact he sort of got up and didn't argue that much. When a player doesn't argue at all about being accused of diving,
that's always a telltale, isn't it?
Yeah,
the reaction.
Yeah.
Definitely the reaction.
Yeah. He was, he didn't argue at all. The ref got clapped by the centre half that was supposedly fouling Jack Payne. It was quite comical. But Jack Payne again put a really good shift in. I also want to give a special mention to Arthur Reed as well. He's very good in the tackle. His distribution is, we know how Arthur Reed can play a ball through, and he can sort of thread the needle. But he just looks so comfortable on the ball. Jamie, what are you thinking about Arthur Reed this season?
Yeah, again, he's had a few downs, hasn't he? And I think a bit of the fans, I think, have got on his back a little bit, especially after the penalty last season. But he's been top quality. He's literally, his confidence again has obviously grown. He's skippered the team a couple of times now. And he looks like a different player, really. I think football's a funny old game, isn't it? It's very much, I know they're professionals, but it's all to do with confidence. And actually, for him to step up a couple of weeks ago and take that penalty, hats off to him. Again, it is hard, isn't it? Because obviously, I know as someone that enjoys playing football, I'm not professional. I do it as a hobby. These guys are professional. It is their job. So I know us fans sort of have that expectation of them to perform, but they're human beings as well. So for him to, he's quality. And Anderson, I think Harry Anderson, he under that radar, just quietly goes about his business. And on Saturday, again, he was just absolutely awesome. But that's what we want. But it's that team cohesion rather than having, I don't know, one or two outstanding players who really stand out to everybody. We're, as a team, everybody's starting to slightly, they're all performing and starting to gel.
Mm-hmm.
And Reed's awesome.
Yeah, I think the last few weeks have really shown people what Anderson brings. So I think these people are starting to see that a lot more now. Not that it was everyone was totally against it. There were still a few you'd see every week, but I think, maybe just from experience, but the past 2 weeks, yesterday and against Chesterfield, I thought Reed was working much more. He's really learning how to be a 6 alongside Bishop. And it's no coincidence. Again, no coincidence that Ellis is back, and no coincidence that Reed taking on more of that responsibility and maybe understanding it a bit more, and being more willing to put himself out there. It's no coincidence that Bishop's had his best 2 games as well. So Arthur Reed is really he's really showing up for the team at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking of that team cohesion and players showing up for the team, it's a player that gets mentioned quite often on this podcast side. But Tom Smith, again from the bench, was so animated on the 4th official. Every time we had a chance, you could see him coming out of the bench, almost acting like an assistant manager at times when with Danny out in the dugout. The influence that he has is huge, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. I think he must be the dream second choice goalkeeper for any manager to have. Not only is he actually a good goalkeeper, so he will be pushing Macy for his spot, he also does maybe some of the boring work, like he's always the first to go over to Macy after game, or if there's stuff that's lying around the bench, we see him picking bits up, like say in a 4th official's ear. So yeah, he epitomises what it is to be a team player. Like I sort of mentioned last week about the 2014 Germany side. This week, again, like Jamie said, proved it even more. There's no superstars, but not every team, but a lot of teams we play, you can point to say one or two players that if you take them out of the equation, that team is going to suffer and not function as a unit.
Yeah.
With us, okay, so say you mark Jack Payne and Teddy Bishop out of the game. Well, you've got like so Lisby, Reed are going to step up. Take Lisby out of the game. Mbek's just as capable of getting back, hold the ball up, running onto loose balls. Take Mbek out of the game, or Payne's going to pop up the goals. So, yeah, I think we're going to be so hard to play against if we keep this cohesion together, because who do you target? Because there's always one or two other players who's going to stand up and be counted, rather than just one or two that we've got to give the ball to Payne, we've got to give the ball to so-and-so in order to win a game. But you might also be quite interested to know, Arthur Reed yesterday felt he had a terrible game.
Really?
Yeah. Because we chatted to Bev, the strength conditioning coach, afterwards, as we came past. Oh, yeah, well played, mate. Outstanding day. But like, see, I told you. Like, what? Bev said, yeah, I told him he was my man of the match. And he was like, yeah, no, I had a really bad game. I didn't play very well at all. I responded, well, that's you not playing very well, mate. I can't wait to see you play well.
He does have that almost poker face, doesn't he, Reed? You can never quite tell what he's thinking or how he's feeling, which sort of, goes back to the human being aspect that Jamie was speaking about there too. I mean, things really seem to have turned a corner with Colchester United. It seems like we're at a point where we wanted to sort of start like this when we spoke pre-season and about what the Colchester United side looked like. I don't think it was too dissimilar to this. It's taken us a little bit of a bedding in period to get there, but I think it's onwards and upwards from here. I put it out for a one-word review on social media, and I've got a few here. James said smooth. Sean said momentum. Rachel said teamwork. Jenny, resilient. And Andy, strategy. We'll go around the group for your one-word review of the performance. Dave, what's your one-word review?
You ask this every week, and I never actually think about this before we do this.
Yeah,
I'm going to say, I did look, and there are a few. I won't steal anybody else's. I'm going to say spirit. Real spirit yesterday, real togetherness. That was you want to see what a team performance is. Show them the video of yesterday.
Like it, yes, absolutely. Spirited side, spirited win. Jamie, what's your one-word review of the performance?
So my one word would be upwards. And obviously, I'm thinking promotion, but I didn't want to say the word promotion because obviously that's further down the line.
Yeah.
So yeah, upwards.
Definitely, yeah. We certainly seem like a team that are moving up, and I mean we're within 6 points of the playoffs now. Not to tempt fate, but it's certainly within our grasp. Si, what's your one-word review?
Acceptable.
So harsh.
I'm technically, because you could ask for it week.
Yeah, because your baseline is a 6-2 win, isn't it?
So it makes it
you're just inviting a lifetime of disappointment, Si. Supporting Col U and expecting 6-2 wins every week.
Yeah, no, it's all going. No, all jokes aside, I'd say gelled.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, really good. Guys, thank you very much for joining me for the preview, and I'll chat to you in a little bit as we look forward to the Harrogate game. Unfortunately, it's at home, Dave, so there won't be decent food on display.
Oh no, I'll stick to the vegan pie because I don't trust the meat in the other pies.
Thank you very much, guys. It's great to chat.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Big thank you to Si, Dave, and Jamie there, and it is time for another new feature for the podcast. It's the U's quiz, and who better for the inaugural contestant to be Ashley as he took on the U's quiz for the first time. Hope you enjoy. Welcome back to Beyond the Barside. I am here with U's fan Ashley. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, good, Aaron. How are you?
All good, thank you, my man. All good. It's good to chat to you again. So we've had your U's memory in a previous episode. We've had your fantasy five-a-side, and I must admit, with both of those features, some of the ball knowledge that you drop in is unbelievable. So I think it's only fitting that we go for our new feature, the Col U quiz. 5 questions, all about Colchester. They get progressively harder with each question. You're the first to do it. Are you going to be the first to get 5 out of 5? I think you probably might be.
You're ramping up the pressure now, mate. You put me on the spot now.
Right. Okay. Let's see. Question number 1. What year was Colchester United founded in?
1937.
That is correct. 1937. Well done. Right. See, I told you, it's a strong start already.
Thank you, mate. We'll see how it go. Start with the easy ones, eh?
Yeah. So, question number 2. Colchester United moved to the community stadium at the time, the Western Homes Community Stadium, after many years at Layer Road. Who were our first opponents that we played at the ground? It doesn't have to be competitive, just our first pre-season friendly opponents that we played.
Yeah, I was at that one. It was a 2-1 defeat to Atletico Bilbao. And then obviously the first league game was a 0-0 draw against Huddersfield a couple of weeks later.
There we go. Perfect. I love it. Yeah, correct. 2 out of 2 so far. Question number 3. Phil Parkinson joined Colchester United in 2003. Where did he join from?
He just finished his playing career at Reading, and I think he was coaching for them. So, yeah.
He was, yeah. He was helping out at Reading, and he was still signed on to play, and he signed himself on for Colchester the first year as well. I think a lot of people don't quite recall that, but yeah, we could have seen Parky play at some point, which would have been really funny.
I think that was the hope, and I remember one of the games toward the end of the season, a few Reading fans had turned up to support him, so maybe they thought they might get one last glimpse of him playing as well, but ultimately it wasn't to be.
Like it. Okay, so you could get 2 potentially for this. No, we'll stick with 1. Colchester United's all-time goal scorer is Tony Adcock. Mm-hmm. How many goals did he score?
Oh, that's a tough one. I know I'm gonna be wrong with this one, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be 134.
Oh, you are very close. It's 149.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I to be honest, we could still go 4 out of 5 here because I reckon you'll get the last one. Greg Halford, Colchester United cult hero, went to Reading from Colchester. How much did he go for?
I believe it was reported at 2.5 mil.
That is correct. 2.5 mil. Breaking the transfer record received at the time. Do you know who it was before Greg Halford?
That would have been Lualua.
Yeah, 2.25. Yeah, 4 out of 5, Ashley. I think that's a solid start.
I'll take that. I'll just have to get back on my stats, mate, and I'll have to do better next time on and do the 5 out of 5. But
I like it. Well, you'll be top of the leaderboard because you're the only person to do the quiz thus far. So at the minute, it is your crown that people are going to try and take. Thank you very much for taking part in the quiz, mate. Solid performance, 4 out of 5. Thank you for coming on again, mate. It's great to speak to you.
Cheers, buddy. Good to talk to you again.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Take care. Big thank you to Ashley there. And ahead of Colchester United's fixture at home to Harrogate, I caught up again with Si, Dave and Jamie to get their predictions on how the U's are going to get on. Welcome back to Beyond the Barside. I'm joined as ever by Si and Dave, as well as Jamie Newstead. How you doing, everyone?
Good, thanks.
Good, buddy. Thank you.
Good stuff. So the U's obviously coming off the back of 3 wins on the bounce, but we are looking ahead to the home fixture against Harrogate Town, a side that have had mixed fortunes, probably not the start that they would have wanted to the season. Colchester United in a decent run of form, beating two sides that we probably wouldn't have expected to have beaten. We now go to a side where, based on form and our performances recently, you'd think, yeah, I'm really confident that at home we can beat this side. Probably going to be a bit more difficult. We might make harder work of it than we need to. Si, do you want to get us started?
I think if you look at it on paper from the outside, this is one of our easier games.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it as a Col U fan, knowing how we play and what we do, this is probably our hardest game.
Mm-hmm.
Purely because we do tend to play better against better teams. Obviously, Chesterfield and Grimsby by far being the best team we played this season.
Mm-hmm.
So what we've now got to make sure we do is keep our standards up and play our game our way and not drop down to whatever they're going to produce or however they're going to play, and just keep the ball on the ground, playing through the lines like we have been, our system, our style, our way, rather than change anything. And even the lineup, as long as there's no injuries, no knocks, which we seem to touch would have come out from Grimsby with nothing, it makes sense to just go completely unchanged. Obviously, Danny will tweak a few little minor things to just any threats he thinks Harrogate are going to play. But yeah, don't change anything. Keep it exactly the same. Go out there, same intensity, same passion, togetherness, everything we've come to see the last 3 games. And although it'd be tough, I don't think we'll have too much of a drama.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And as you say, on paper, it should be a performance that warrants a win, but it's never usually that simple. Looking at the Harrogate side, it's a side that's, rich in experience, really. They've got some players that have done the rounds within the Football League. Mark Oxley being one of them, that many youth fans may know as being the Southend goalkeeper for quite some time. Mason Bennett that played for Derby amongst other sides, and Sean Mikulski. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Played that.
Wasn't much to remember. He scored against Sudbury, didn't he?
Scored against Sudbury, and then
we
never heard from him again. But that, experience within a League Two side often can be quite dangerous. How important is it, Jamie, to have that mix of experience and youth within a side?
Well, you're definitely talking to the right person. Yeah, I think it's 100%. It's really important. Experience, I think it brings a level-headed approach to the maybe tougher games, and obviously the youngsters bring that energy and that sort of real freshness to a team. So yeah, 100%. It's really important to have that mix, I think. Yeah,
definitely. And I mean, there's loads. I mean, it's a strange side to play for us, Harrogate. I mean, I've never seen us go out and out and really dominate a game against Harrogate. Dave, you've been to Harrogate. You've obviously watched Harrogate play Colchester United at our place. They almost seem a bit of a bogey side to us. Would you agree?
That's exactly what I was going to say. If this was any other team than Harrogate, I would be absolutely brimming with confidence. But we just seem, it's like last season, the season before, I think the season before was, we lost 2-1 at home. I think, wasn't that the game Garner got sacked after? But they're just one of those teams that just sort of get results from nowhere, and they do it against us. Their keeper, Belshaw, never has anything less than a worldie against us. And they just seem to, like you said, seem to be just one of those teams. But let's, again, if we don't get frustrated, to continue the process, I do think we will have a fairly comfortable win.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a pretty settled team. We'll have a confident team. And yeah, we've got every team in every league, but especially League One and League Two, where things within sort of 2 or 3 game periods, things can change so much. We've got a striker who is absolutely red hot, and he looks so confident. In the first half, I felt yesterday in the first half against Grimsby, you could see the first 2 games, he showed what he could do, and it came off for him. He played really well. But yesterday in the first half, he looked like he knew how good he was and how well he was playing and what he could offer. 2 or 3 times, they couldn't get the ball off him. There's one point he got the ball on the right, took it all the way to the left, and then came back again. So, yeah, I think, I'm feeling confident, but because of the Harrogate factor, not as confident as I should be.
Yeah, no, I think that's completely fair. And obviously, Si, you spoke about keeping the same side, not making too many changes, particularly within the starting 11, but the bench may be where we see some changes, particularly in regards to the forward position. Jaden Williams came on for Micah Embick towards the end of the game on Saturday. They're very different players in terms of stature and what they bring to the side, and perhaps Micah, more of a like-for-like substitution would be Samson Tavide or Will Goodwin. Do you see either of those making their way into the matchday squad?
I think potentially Will Goodwin, depending on what sort of week he has on grass. I think he's done, 2 full sessions now with the squad. So he'll be then kicking about potentially to bring him on the bench as that sort of second striker if need be, and that then frees up Williams to potentially have to take on a midfield role if need be. And obviously the other one that no one's really sure about at the moment is what Tom Fallaghan's going to do. Well, when how fit he is, how close he is. But in a way, we talked about this the way back from Grimsby that with Fallaghan, when he is fit, it would almost be in his character, hopefully, to turn around and say, Joe, what? Don't rush me into this side. And I think it'd be a very bold move from him as captain to just show how he's putting the team forward and set a marker down for everyone, showing, look, this is about the team. It's not about individuals here. Yes, I want to play, but you're going well. Don't just drop me in because you think I'm the captain. I have to be. Just, I want to play my way back in. So I think that'd be quite a good mark, not just for the Cowleys to put down, showing that you've got to earn your place, but also for him to show his leadership in a different way, maybe.
We did it last year, didn't he? We got dropped around just before Christmas, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So
he came back and just got better and better as the season went on.
Sort of versed to it. So yeah, there will be changes to the bench. Obviously, we don't know how long Tavide is going to be out for with his injury because he rolled his ankle again. I don't think there'll be wholesale changes. Maybe a couple of players back, but other than that, I can't see too much changing because, like we said last week, why change what's working?
Yeah, absolutely. And you speak about a few weeks ago. We spoke about how there were a lack of leaders on the pitch, and Flanagan was a huge miss on that pitch because there wasn't that sort of main person leading the team and bringing the players through. All of a sudden, Ellis Ndolo comes back and almost brings the best out of other players. We spoke about Arthur Reed in the previous segment, how he's sort of grown in confidence and adopted more of that leadership role. And it seems like a team that all of a sudden is full of leaders right across the pitch, and we seem to be developing that confidence. I mean, a team that's high on confidence, is a very dangerous side. Who do you think is going to be the standout player on Saturday? We'll go around the group. Si?
Ellis.
Yeah.
So just before I go around but quickly, do you know we've won more games this season with Ellis in the side than we have when he's not been in the side? He's only been back a week.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Jamie?
Yeah, again, I don't really want to. I don't know if I can put it on one player. I just think, I think when Taylor went last year, I think we all thought as fans, like he was that person that the team needed to almost sort of bond them all together. And I think we were like, oh, we've lost that leader because he was a decent leader. But actually now he's gone, obviously. And people like Ellis are coming back into the team. They're stepping up almost. So and the likes of Reed. To me, I don't really know Arthur. He comes across like quite a quiet character. I don't know if he is or not. But yeah, the likes of Ellis, like Flanagan, they are like proper leaders, and yeah. So I can't put it on one person.
No, I think that's completely fair enough. Dave, what are you thinking?
And just on your point about leaders and Ellis coming back, I think it's also probably helped Jack Tucker a bit as well.
Mm-hmm.
A bit less pressure on his shoulders in the leadership, well, because he's a fledgling captain, really, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's not been captain before, so I think that's helped him out, and that he's been really solid the last couple of weeks. But I think Harrogate are going to play their usual way, which gets them results. It's absolutely valid that they're going to sit deep. They're going to try and hit us on the break. We're going to break down probably quite a well-organised low block. And so I think if Teddy Bishop can have another good game, we can get him on the ball, get him driving, pulling defenders out, and creating space for other people as well. I think if Teddy Bishop has a good game, we're going to be in really good shape.
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone that you've mentioned definitely has their own sort of traits that can really change a game or turn a game on its head. Just looking at the forward play, obviously, Kyrie's Lisby, another great game. I mean, the way he's started this season has been fantastic, particularly when we were debating about whether he would be a starter or a finisher. He is
no debate anymore, is there?
He's blown that debate out of the water, and he is probably one of the first names on the team sheet every single week. But obviously with great performances, and Jamie, you alluded to it earlier in the podcast, comes the rumours, and Colchester United are renowned for being a side that takes these young players, moulds them into brilliant, well-rounded footballers, and then moves them on their way to usually Peterborough, but other clubs as well. The rumour mill has started with Kyrie's Lisby. What do you think? Do you think he goes in January, or do you think Colchester United are the team that are going to get him through at least a season, and we can then look at his options in the summer?
I'd be really surprised if he went in January, just because he is still raw.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously football's changing all the time, the way data's coming in, and Oscar Thorne was a good example, and probably Ian Vent as well, to be honest, of clubs not necessarily giving a player like Lisby a year, see how they do in a season, but like with Oscar Thorne, they're looking at his profile, and they're willing to invest, take a bit of a gamble on the profile. So yeah, with the way football's changing, 5 years ago, I'd have said no, he'll definitely be with us this year, maybe even part of next year as well. I would be surprised if he went in January, but if the offer comes in, they're not going to turn it down, are we?
Yeah, I'll put it out to the floor side. Jamie, what are you thinking?
Sorry, Judge, go, Jamie, mate.
Yeah, again, it's business, isn't it? At the end of the day, that it's Robbie's club, and if the right offer comes in, there you go. The right offer comes in, then yeah, obviously we will accept it. But I'd like to think with the Lisby connections of the club, like you say, he's a raw talent still. He's doing well, but actually, I think he still needs to prove himself. I'd like to think he'll be here for at least the season.
Yeah, definitely. Si?
No, but he's not going anywhere.
No.
And the reasons I give.
Did Ronnie tell you that?
Exactly, mate. So, I've lost my train of thought now. Oscar Thorne, let's make no sort of crimes about this. We needed the money. So they've taken an offer that maybe they wouldn't have taken a year or so before. In January, clubs tend to buy out of the need and on someone that's going to come in and make an impact straight away. I think because of how young Lisby is, how raw he is, there is the risk that a different club, he may not have that effect that they would then need in January. And secondly, sorry, I'll do whatever I'm on now, I don't think we'll be in a rush to sell him because offers that are in January will still be there in the summer. The only thing he's going to do is probably put more money on his price tag with how he's playing. So we do hold all the cards, and I just generally think for how people buy in January, he won't fit the mould. And on the second thing, we don't actually need to get rid of him in January in order to bring someone else in, because all we'll be doing is get rid of Lisby to replace him with, Lisby. If anything, I could actually see the opposite happening and us gaining a Lisby in January.
You think Kyrell comes over?
I don't think the move to Peterborough has really worked for him. He's jumped higher than not higher than he can because he's good enough at that level, but higher than maybe his development was at the time.
Too quick, yeah.
Peterborough are very well known to look to lighten their squad in January if they can with loans in order to bring in people who are going to keep Ferguson's job for another 10 years. So therefore, I think if they were to lend him out, would be a likely candidate because we've got the rest of them, and obviously it's the local and the connections.
I was going to say, I didn't know if you just assumed there are another 4 or 5 Lisbys just roaming Colchester,
I think
waiting to be signed.
Could well be.
Off the going off on a bit of a tangent. Someone I was speaking to today that knows the family a little bit was saying that actually the general consensus is the younger one we've got is the one to watch.
Kaon.
Yes, if he's the one to watch, Jesus.
Yeah, that is.
We've got our hands there.
That is, yeah. I mean, he's doing bits and bobs for the 18s and 21s. So, yeah, I don't think that's a far stretch to consider him as being the one to watch. But given what Kyrell and Kyrell are doing, it's very exciting if that's the case. We'll round it off with some score predictions. Obviously, it's a game that on paper Colchester United should be looking to win, but again, we have this sort of weird history with Harrogate Town, which makes it a bit more harder to predict. So we'll go around with score predictions. Si, what are you thinking?
1-1.
1-1?
Yes, it's my go-to. To be fair, whenever I'm negative, all that stuff, we always seem to do well. And if we do draw, yes, we'll be disappointed. But from Grimsby to Harrogate, we would have taken 4 points before the game started.
Mm-hmm.
Admittedly, it'd be the wrong way round, but we would still take a draw. It's going to be a lot tougher than we think this game.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, I think that's fair enough. Jamie, what are you thinking?
I'm going to go with 3-2 Colchester.
Yes, good. Yeah, high scoring. I like it. We seem to be hitting the back of the net now, but yeah, I think we'll concede as well. I think there's a couple of players in that side that can definitely pose a problem. Dave, what are you thinking?
I think we're going to put the Harrogate hoodoo to bed 3-1.
3-1. Wow, this is positive. I like it. This definitely wouldn't have happened after the Accrington game. I know that for sure.
I never thought I'd be positive again after the Accrington game, but here we are. Football is mad. And just, sorry, I think you called 2-1 yesterday for Grimsby, didn't you, last week?
Can't remember. I'll take it if it is. I
think you did.
There we go.
I knew they were due defeat, so
we should get a like a Super 6 sponsorship for
just for Col U.
Just for Col U. Use code SCI for 50%.
Do you know we've not lost at Brundle Park since 2018?
We've won them all. We've won 4 in a row, haven't we, I think?
Yeah, well, I think the last got one draw or something. But yeah, we are very good there.
I see you're coming out with the stats this week, so I like it. Do you know them already, or are you doing a bit more research before we record?
No, the only reason I know that one is because we were talking about it after the game, because we were like, oh yeah, we've got a good result against a good side. But actually, we normally do quite well with it, so we had to look at it. That's what I'm not doing research. Sorry,
saw in his newspaper.
Yeah, definitely. It's been great to chat to you all. We'll look forward to the Harrogate game, but Si, Jamie, Dave, thank you very much for chatting, and hopefully we'll speak again soon.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And there you have it. That is another podcast done and dusted. I have been Aaron J. Thank you very much for listening. And if you've got this far, please feel free to leave a like, share, or a comment on the podcast. Spread the word to as many U's fans as possible. We will be back again next week with another Beyond the Barside. Thank you very much. Up the U's.